going to run through fairly quickly. Run through the code for the lab for CIS126, and the assignment is for week A. And the requirements were the poem that we have right here as a txt file to be parsed through and using a function to try to count the occurrences of each word. See how many times they repeat, like the word turtle, I know it repeats quite a lot. Yurtle repeats quite a lot. There are there are many words over here that are just very repetitive, so building a function for this, even with the help of the professor, he recorded his way of doing it, and I went by and looked, and it wasn't easy. But when I finally, after all this, never really working the way I wanted, I got to this point, and it was pretty sweet because it turned out to be better than what I thought I was going to be able to achieve. So, um, I actually just finished wrapping all this in a function yesterday, and that was another achievement. But here we go. It's this function. I call it word finder because that's what the function does. It'll look for a word. Given your input, ask you to enter the file name. So in here, we're grabbing whatever txt file. Like you can throw whatever txt file in the folder, the current folder that you have this function on. And once you call the function, um, then we grab this txt file we store in file name, just a variable name to be my placeholder over here. And then I ask the user for another input, and I ask what word they wanted to search, and I'm going to use this input, store it in a word, and use it later to get this word to try to match with whatever is in the file name. So I open the file with open file, which is that that Python function that opens the file for you, reads or writes whatever you pass in here, and then closes automatically for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Rather than using just the open function, which leaves the file open, it's not a good thing to do. Uh, So after reading that file with the second parameter read, I store it in a variable called file. We could call this anything else. We could call it just whatever. And then we loop through this file. Each line, I call it line, but it really is just, it's gonna run through, um, if you leave it like this, it's gonna run through every character in the file. Um, but then I used the line dot split method to actually put words together, and it cleans it up nice for you. And I store in this variable. I know it's very similar with this one word over here, but it's not the same words. It's storing the value of uh, the values that the for loop ran through and were applied the split method. After that, we run another loop for each piece of text that we get, or after it gets splitted, and we loop it again. And I set the condition that if the word, if the variable equals um, word, which is the word that the user inputted over here, then we store it in this variable that I initialize it to 0 over here. I call it starting, but it's actually just, it's a counter variable. I could have called it counter to make it more specific, but I chose to call it starting for some reason. So we increment, after storing, we increment the variable so it keeps going one by one each time until the loop ends, going through every word and whatever file we throw it in here. Then we print occurrences of the word plus word, and then the next line I like to put this little directionals over here, and then starting is just gonna give you that integer value for how many times the word is there. And actually, I just got this done yesterday. I would like the program to keep going. Before, I just had this much, and then after they found your word or didn't find, it would just end. So I wanted the program to keep going until the user wanted to stop looking for words. So I print another statement, ask the user if they like to look up another word, and then I store um, their answer in this input variable over here, asking them in the same time to type yes, no, or quit. And then I check if the answer is as yes, then I call the function again, so the function will restart and let the user input the file they want to search and the word they want to search. And then if the user say no, then um, I tell them to input quit by asking, would you like to close the program? After they said no, if they wanted to close, I make sure that I ask them to type quit to exit, and I put another check over here. If they type quit, then I just call system exit, which is a built-in functionality in Python that will just close the program for you. So let's just take a look at this. Let's just look for poem.txt, nice and ugh, whatever. It just wow, I can't believe it accepted a txr. But whatever, we're in that file. So let's look for love in that. Uh, okay. Anyhow, it didn't want the. So the word love is not in this poem over here. So what do I do? Do I type yes? Would I like to look up for another word? Yes, let's look up for another word. Oh, not over there, over here. Then I gotta type the file name again, which is a little bit annoying, but enter the word. Let's look for turtle, because I know there are many occurrences to that one. So turtle appears 7 times. So I think I'm done with this. So I'll say no, just so we can go to the next thing, which is, would you like to close the program? Type quit to exit. I should say please type quit to exit, but let me just type quit, and that's nice. It just quit. I could further implement that quit. Not only does system.exit, but also exits the terminal by calling os.exit. But why do I have that in here? But I'm not gonna do that. I must have done something. Okay, yes. That's it. There's many other things that I did for week 8, but no time for that. So I'll end this video over here. Until next time, later.